The original Five Nights at Freddy's movie is not a movie that I would call great by any means. If anything, I think it is extremely mediocre, which was pretty disappointing because at the time it was extremely hyped to finally get a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. And I'm not even like the craziest FNAF fanatic, I like the franchise, but even I was hyped for it. I'm not even like a super fan. But like I said, that movie isn't great. If anything, it is extremely boring and slow. So going into the sequel, I was hoping that it was at least just entertaining. Obviously, I wanted an improvement over the first one. I don't know, man. I think it's a lot worse. Also, this video will contain heavy amounts of spoilers. You have been warned. To start it off, I guess I'll get my compliments out there of this movie. First off, the design team once again did great. The animatronics look fantastic. They really do carry this movie visually. Like, the animatronics just look so good and so real. I'm so happy that they decided to go with the practical effect route with this thing because, yeah, a bunch of CGI animatronics walking around would have looked just stupid. I also liked how the animatronics had voices this time around. I think it gave them, like, this really weird, like, innocent but creepy dynamic. It made them a lot creepier than the first one. I know people complained about Megan Fox's acting in Mortal Kombat, which I thought was personally pretty bad too, but I feel like when she's playing, like, a literal robot, she does a pretty good job here. That really dry delivery works in her favor. I like how they actually reference the gameplay of the actual games in this one. Other than that, though, this movie is just a complete mess. One of the big complaints about the first FNAF movie was that it didn't really do good at telling a story for a general audience rather than the fans. And honestly, yeah, this movie is as big of an offender as that one is on that point. There are a lot of Easter eggs and references to the games in the story, which some of them do, like, make zero sense if you don't know the lore of the games, but honestly, at this point, like, are general audiences even watching this movie? Like, I feel like you're not watching this unless you actually like FNAF now. I'll get more of that into specific complaints, but there are also just a lot of horror references in this thing. Billy from Scream is in this thing. We gotta have Matthew Lillard. We gotta have both of them, I guess. You also have Wayne Knight in this movie, and I swear, my friends were telling me that I'm like reaching, but they reference Jurassic Park in this movie. There's a scene in Jurassic Park where John Hammond is talking to Wayne Knight's character, and he says, "Our lives are on the line. You have Butterfingers?" And in this movie, Wayne Knight drops Abby's animatronic and he says, "Oh, I guess I have Butterfingers." You cannot tell me that is not a reference, okay? I'm not coping. They also reference the Fortnite Battle Pass guy and his FNAF, like, horror, 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 horror sound in the movie, which I actually thought was really funny. I liked that reference. But the one, like, callback that I was genuinely so confused on is they show the lawyer who has like 5 minutes of total screen time in the first movie, and they act like it's some sort of like MCU cameo. Like, he just shows up for a scene and he's all like, "I guess you guys should call a lawyer." Like, who the hell are you? And like, the whole theater was like cheering when he showed up. I genuinely was so confused. Also, the whole movie, I was just waiting for Markiplier to show up. Like, literally any time they talked to a character off screen, I was praying that it was Markiplier. It was straight hopium. He never shows up. Getting into the actual meat and potatoes of this thing, though, I don't know. The story is just like all over the place. I don't even know where to start, but I guess I'll talk about Vanessa's character. They have like this trauma arc with her, but it goes over like so quickly in the movie that we have no time to actually develop it. So it's just like, what's the point of that when the rest of the movie needs more development? It's like you could have just cut that out if you were going to go through it so fast to actually, tell the rest of the story in a way that makes sense. But I guess we gotta reference a baby in it because we're trying to set up a sequel here. Yeah, they do a lot of sequel setting up in this thing. I'll get more into that with the ending. And I don't know, the rest of the characters are just like they're there, I guess. They aren't really that much different from their characters in the original. Like, I don't really think there's a whole lot of character development here. The only character who really does anything is Vanessa, and she's kind of just getting, like, beat up the entire movie. And I don't remember this with the first one, but my god, this movie is literally just all cliches. Like, every single scary scene is just a cliche. If you think something is going to happen in this movie, it happens. It is so predictable. If there's a door, you know they're gonna close the door and there's gonna be someone behind it. There's a scene that was in the trailer where he looks at the mask and he's all like, that's not gonna work. Of course it works, whoa! And some of the writing was just really corny. Like, there's this scene where Chica, it's where they go out and about in the city, and Chica is like gonna kill Wayne Knight, and then she tells to Abby, she's like, I just want to see what's inside of what's going on in his head. And it's like, okay, that's kind of like a creepy line. I actually like that. But then they repeat it twice more in the movie, and it's just like, why? Like, you have lost like any good delivery that line had originally now. And I guess I'll get to the whole sequence where the animatronics are like roaming around in the city. I like that concept, but they really don't do anything with it. I really like how Chica gets her moment to be creepy, but that's kind of like all we get. We get one kill and that's it. I like the scene where Freddy is walking around just talking to people. I actually really thought that was funny, but he does nothing else after that. Going back to the cliches, every time Freddy or Bonnie is about to get a kill, something happens that stops them last second. Like, holy shit. I know a lot of people are also complaining that the kills were all off screen. I don't really care about this, but I mean, I can see why you would want to see like more. I don't know, I feel like a lot of the plot in this movie is pretty insignificant. It's kind of just fine, whatever. But my god, the worst thing about this movie is the fucking ending. Jesus Christ, the ending is terrible. So basically, the animatronics are all roaming around in the streets. They are being tracked by Michael. He finds that one of them is going to his house. Vanessa assumes that it has Abby. Mike just goes to fucking Freddy Fazbear's for some reason immediately. Like, I get it's setting up one of the later scenes, but at the same time, your literal sister has been fucking kidnapped. There is an animatronic in your house, and you're not going to your house? And when he gets there, they set up this point that Marionette, the main villain, she can be like defeated by playing a music box, which Mike has because he met with her dad, and he gave him the music box to use. Or not to use against her, but, you know, like, it's implied that he can use it against her. And he immediately uses the music box when he gets there. But it's like, you could have just done that before instead of going to Freddy Fazbear's. Like, you could have just saved your fucking sister. But the worst character in this movie that really has no reason to be here whatsoever, his inclusion makes zero sense, is Michael Afton. Listen, I'm not like the biggest FNAF lore head. I had to ask my friends about this one, but apparently Michael Afton is like a very like highly anticipated characters to be in the movies. Like, people really wanted him. What the hell happened? So basically how the animatronics get released is that Michael Afton lures this group of TV hosts into the original Freddy Fazbear, and then, you know, one of them gets killed by Marionette, releasing her, and then everything goes down. And it's like, okay, yeah, Michael lured them there, but he doesn't really do anything. Actually, he runs away from Marionette, like, for his life, so it seems like he doesn't really have any control whatsoever, and throughout the rest of the movie, it's established that Marionette is the one pulling the strings, no pun intended. But then he just shows up at the end, and he has, like, this, it was me all along, actually, moment, but he hasn't done anything. Like, he literally has not done a single fucking thing. Yeah, he lured those people there, but he is clearly in zero control here. What is he talking about he was in control? It's just so fucking stupid. Like, genuinely, what is the point of this? And then he just gets defeated. Like, What was the I keep repeating myself, but seriously, what was the point of any of this? So yeah, Michael is there, and then in order to defeat the animatronics who are still in the house, the old animatronics, or I guess the new ones, I don't even fucking know. The ones from the first movie show up because Michael went to Freddy Fazbear's and like called for their help. They show up and they just kill all the toy animatronics, and it's really lame. Look, I'm not asking for some like Transformers type like robot fight, but I just wish the toy animatronics did literally anything. They just stand there and take it. It's not like the animatronics are fast or anything, like they are so slow that it gives them time to react. Like they literally just stand there, lifeless, letting the other animatronics just murk them. There is just no suspense to it whatsoever. I completely forgot to put this in the video, but once again, why Mike not just going to his house to save Abby is so stupid too, is because we've established that the marionette is the animatronics, like she is controlling all of them. He literally just could have played the fucking music box again to put them asleep. Like he didn't even need the animatronics to come in and kill them. He had the fucking music box. This movie is so stupid. And then there's the scene where the Golden Freddy kid like shows up, like his ghost or whatever, and he like warns Michael about Springtrap like vaguely, which is like, okay, sure. And then out of nowhere, Mike just fucking hates Vanessa. Like he's like, get the fuck away from me. Like I don't trust you. And look, throughout this movie, they're kind of building up like this suspicion from Mike towards Vanessa because she like has so many secrets and all this stuff. But I don't really think that this reaction is warranted because she isn't even like the catalyst for the movie's events. Yeah, she plays a part in the animatronics getting loose, but like, she was just trying to help. Like, you were the one who didn't even go to your fucking sister first. Like, Vanessa got there first. She's trying to help. And then at the end, you know, Vanessa gets possessed by the marionette. But the worst part about this is that this all happens in the span of like 10 to 15 minutes. It is so rushed. I really hate to say it, but I thought this movie was just not very good. Which is disappointing because I really wanted this to be better than the original, which I thought was just mediocre. And while I did like some scenes, I just cannot call this movie good as a whole. But yeah, they had this like MCU-ass post-credit scene, like I guess they're gonna make a third one. Okay, like we could have probably already assumed that. I just hate how the ending is more focused on setting up another one than just being an actual ending. I don't know, man. It was disappointing. It had some good bits, but yeah, it wasn't great. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. Yeah. I'm Freddy Fazbear. I'm gonna get you and I'm gonna make you scared.